I've made it clear that I want to be buried at the feet of my father. So if you're going to hang me or wherever, let my remains go. I want to be at the feet of my father. But you see, we're going into an election. And an election is a time where all the people of Uganda have a conversation. When you're in that ballot, when you're going to vote, it is basically you, your ballot paper, and your God. There's no general there. The general has one vote, just like you. Everybody will have one vote. The millionaires, one vote. The ministers, one vote. Let us use our vote wisely. Don't let people who think that they have a microphone and what they can shout and bully people around. No. All of us have this chance to make a difference in our lives for 2026. Each of us has one vote. Let's use our vote wisely. I think I've got your question. Parliament operates according to rules. Now, maybe the easiest way would be a backbench member to move, but anything moved by a backbench member which puts any charge on a consolidated pass will not be able to pass. I.e., a backbencher can only move a law which has no cost effect on the overall budget. Therefore, it means it is the government which has to be the one to move. And we have been waiting for the consolidated reforms associated with elections and the rest to come. It has not yet come. So this is something which falls squarely on the foot of the government. I know there are efforts where there are going to be some of the laws coming through, private members' bills, but this is something which the government is supposed to have done. And there are things which previous judgments had put in place that they are supposed to have been done. I think around the Mbabasi case, there were things which were supposed to have been done, amendments are supposed to have been done, which have never yet been done. And that's the situation we face. Yes, sir.
My name is Ivan Sebeni. I work with the New Vision.
Calling out General Otafire on his recent visit to my constituency in Lira to attend what was supposed to be the Lumba Boda Festival. Otafire spoke of many things there, but first I want to put him in context in that Lumba, which he went to attend, is a creation of Jimmy Akena. And the chairman of Lumba spoke as much as to how much I put into this issue of Lumba. In brief, during the walk to work days, I as Akena rode for 8 months. While my colleagues were walking, I was riding up and down within Kampala and up country. Along the way, I came across many people on motorcycles, bodas, who were struggling to make ends meet, accessing the credit to meet these conditions. So I started developing an idea of how I can help my people in Lira to acquire motorcycles. At that time in Lira were many bicycles, our bodas were bicycles. So I engaged in a program, I did my research, and within the market, all of the providers, in my point of view, were exploiting the riders. The bodas were being exploited all over. There was no program I found which actually worked and benefited the citizens. So, to avoid this exploitation and high interest rates, I crafted a program. But in crafting that program, I needed an association which can be able to collect the money on behalf of the bank. Hence, the birth of Lumba, beginning in 2011, but we went through difficulties, it collapsed, we built it up again in 2012. In 2013, we managed to get something which was stable. That is the birth of Lumba. So when Otafire is visiting a constituency on a program which he doesn't understand, he should stop attacking before he gets the actual facts of what took place. Between 2013 and 2020, I was able to distribute about 7,000 motorcycles to the people of Lira and the surrounding areas through the Lumba program. And I was prepared to continue with that program. But along the way, within the NRM, That program was fought. Leaders of NRM have fought that program. I don't know, you members of the press, I think you saw when we were defeating them in Oyam, they complained about the borders. A lot of the borders got arrested. In Dokolo, they complained about the borders. They have fought this program, but this program is benefiting the citizens. So, Otafire's attack, I felt, was very misplaced. It was wrong, and it misses the point. Much as that event was supposed to now crown somebody as a patron of this organization, the so-called patron does not want to carry the debt or the liabilities of Lumba. I have gone through a difficult period where efforts are made to prevent people from paying loans. And my cry has been, even if you're fighting Akena, please, you go ahead and fight Akena. But do not destroy a young Ugandan's future by destroying their credit. You destroy their credit, wherever they go in Uganda, they're still going to have to meet credit at some point. They'll need a loan at some point. Don't destroy the people. Now, the big question is now, am I crying over spilled milk? Definitely not. But the challenge is here that if Akena can bridge a gap between a government bank, namely Post Bank, and a need in the society, which was the boda, and through that 7,000 bodas come, then NRM with all its officials are busy fighting Akena to stop this program. Who are they fighting for? My cry is the people of Uganda are being exploited. I have demonstrated clearly that government has the tools. It's just the will to be able to serve the people of Uganda. So the challenge now goes beyond Otafire and goes to the President of the Republic. I used Post Bank. Post Bank has branches all over Uganda. Why can you not come up with something reasonable where the boda industry and people can get a fair amount or pay fair interest on the loans which they get? I demonstrated it is possible, it is practical, and it works. It was successful until it was fought by NRM. But the question now going towards 2026, who is going to do it for the people of Uganda? Who is going to do it for the bodas within this country? That is my challenge and my question, which I put to the leadership of NRM. And this issue, I don't want to leave it here because we're going into election, and now the EC wants to cut the registration in February. I have mentioned, I have a daughter who is going to become 18 in August. Effectively, the EC is saying that this 18-year-old who by law can even contest for the presidency of Uganda cannot participate in this election. I mentioned in previous times that when I returned from exile after my father's burial, I registered on the 26th of October. That next year, I was a candidate and a voter. Between October and election was around, I think that time it was February. I was a voter. We've had by-elections. Voters' update is done in time. Why are you cutting off all of these young Ugandans who should have an opportunity to vote? So I'm going to use everything within the means available to me. I'm going to call upon IPOD. I'm going to call upon all institutions. Let Ugandans be able to determine their own future in the presidential and parliamentary elections of 2026. The cutoff point should not be now. You can do it within reasonable time where you can produce a register for that election, but cutting off in February is something which is not going to be acceptable. I think at this point, I might have said a lot. I'm open to questions. Thank you. Like all other players, preparing and organizing. Are we fielding candidates? Definitely. And that is one of the issues why I was calling out President Museveni on the question of why is it that the boda sector are being exploited with exorbitant interest rates on the loans they acquire. Yet, within the government system, I was able to pull out something which was fairer and gave a better shake for them. So this is something which comes around the issue of the presidential. So definitely, UPC is going to be fielding. I'm interested in that position. We're going to be fielding candidates for across the board. And this issue of preparing for elections, we know the deadlines. i.e., by the time nomination is on for members of parliament, we would have gone through the process, selected our member of parliament, sorted out any disagreements, and be able to field candidates across the board. But we intend from presidential all the way down, UPC is going to be fielding candidates. By-election in Kawempe, it will be, I will support a UPC candidate, but I'm not the one to choose a UPC candidate. The candidate is chosen by the party structure within that locality. So if they present a candidate to me, I will definitely support my candidate. I have not had any indication as yet on somebody who is ready at this material time.